Bitcoin and Ethereum, what's its next move? Let's find out in the chart, shall we? Wow, Bitcoin has dumped, and now is it gonna pump? Is it going to go upwards right here and continue higher? Or are we going to see downwards action, or worse yet, sideways action for a very long time? We're gonna talk about the choices that Bitcoin has to make and more, and how to trade it in today's episode. And you can do so by trading at bybit.davincij15.com and earn, possibly not earn, but actually gain $1,650 for your bonus to trade on your own by signing up with my link in the description below. Awesome to do so, so make sure you do it. Also, you can do so at femex.davincij15.com and btcmex.davincij15.com. And yeah, also, if you start earning some Bitcoin, maybe you might want to save it at BlockFi/DaVinciJ15. Right? That's a nice place to save some Bitcoin and actually earn some interest, but not all your money, of course, right? Remember your risks. Okay. With that said, man, we got a action-packed show. And we got a show that's actually live for the public as well as for my DJ15 token holders and Pandora's Wallet subscribers, or the DaVinciJ15.com Telegram group subscribers as well. Alrighty, so let's get on with today's show. But before we do, right, remember, this is not financial advice. This is trading entertainment, and make sure that you do your own research before putting any money in the market. Whew, okay, alrighty, so start off with Bitcoin, our favorite monetary system. Control, undo. I want to do the undo right here. Let's just do it right here. Undo. There we go. So, well, Bitcoin, the 4 hours. Did it cross? Are we crossing here? Is the cross, the 4 hour golden cross, is it real or is it Memorex? Okay, I know, I just dated myself. Yes, I'm 50. Okay. So most of you don't even know what I'm talking about. But anyways, let's just see here. Bitcoin has decided to not let the cross happen, and that is what generally happens if we're far away and we're close to crossing, and then we come close to crossing, and then price actually dumps into it. So if we blast off from here, generally on a golden cross, that will actually validate. So for example, we'd have to break this high, unfortunately, to validate the golden cross positive for sure that we're going to the moon. Without that, there is no moon. There is no moon. Well, at least not yet. Not yet. So effectively right now, as the 4 hour continues to dump on us, and which is good for the alts, good for the people who do the little old lady strategy. They're getting paid in an asset that will eventually go to the moon and go a lot higher, faster than the alts eventually. So we're going to see Bitcoin as we go down to the lower time frames, because right now the 4 hour has not decided whether or not it wants to break down. Of course, in order for us to really break down on the 4 hour and to say, okay, it's lights out, we have to break down the $54,600 level, and if we're going to say we're going higher, we got to go above the $59,000 even dollar level, unfortunately. Let's take a look at our fibs here, because I think our fibs come into play right now as we decide where we're going to go from this top to this bottom here. And so look at that, 61.8 is a point where if we come down, you can see we can clear off a lot of longs, and there's a lot of liquidity here of longs who are like, yeah, man, it's going higher, man. This is my stop loss. There's no way they're coming down here, and only to just make them cry, basically. So you can see that this is where the stop losses are, and so you can see this is also where we actually took off from the last time we pumped here and went further up. So this is most likely the 61.8 at $51,568 is most likely target, but effectively I would say that the real target will probably be the 61.8. Just to test this whole resistance level right here, whether or not we're going to we really want to have a buying power down at this level. Kind of sucks invalidating the golden cross, but that's just the way the ball bounces. Going to lower time frame to see if we can make actually a trade out of here. I wouldn't make a trade just yet, a short trade just yet. There isn't quite an M here. Maybe we'll go a little bit lower, pump, bounce, and then create a nice little M. And then once we do, you can probably come out with a trade. There's no guarantees, of course, that we will draw an M here. If we go probably to the 5 minute, we'll probably see a clearer M there as well. So that could turn into something very potentially big. But here there's a small M, but I don't think I think it's already completed. You don't want to be trying to run this one as well. This M here, it's too late, right? I think so. No, maybe not. Maybe not. There it is. Look at that. It's too late to actually for you to jump in on this M. But if you happen to be in on it, right? You can see where the take profits are by, I'm just doing this just to show you guys how to set the take profits on looking for M's. And if you don't know how to see the M, right, the best way, because I know we're using Japanese candlesticks and it's probably not as clear. Let me just get rid of some of the the indicators here that we have so that you guys can actually see that clearly enough. Right, there we go. And then we go over to a line chart, and you can see the M is a little bit more clear for you to see on a line chart. So if you guys are looking to figure out where the M's are and you're not quite clear with the Japanese candlesticks, just switch to line chart and you can see them a lot clearer. And yeah, to do that, right, it's just right over here. And just head over to tradingview.davincij15.com to subscribe to TradingView as well. Alrighty, yeah, so this is the target right there, your stop loss. You bring your stop loss to the 2-to-1, so they make sure that you get a 2-to-1 on any particular trade, right, so that you will always start to make money, right? Because if you make a 2-to-1 on these trades, right, the first trade might fail, the second one is successful, and boom, you're in profit right away, right? And if the third one fails, well, you're just at break even. So there you go. Okay, so yeah, so there you have it. That's the target. I would not try to jump in on this trade right now. Would not. Just let it go. Just walk away. It's just too much. There's too little. I mean, this would be, you'd have to use like 100x to anywhere from 50 to 100x leverage on this thing to actually play with this trade at this lower time frame. But it's just an example of how you would trade this particular M. Trade an M should one show up at a higher time frame, right? At the hourly or the 4 hour, of course. Yeah, and most of you guys are not interested in trading in the 5 minute time frame, probably. But that's how the day traders do it. Sorry to interrupt in the middle of the stream, but head over to blockfi.com/DaVinciJ15 and you could earn $250, also 8.6% on your crypto. Of course, know your risks, and you'll be able to trade crypto over there. Also get access to a credit card, allow you to spend your crypto. Links are in the description below. Right, all right, so let's head over to the daily, because I haven't looked at the daily in a while. Wow, we have wide Bollinger Band, so there's no indication that Bitcoin's ready to move higher. The 4 hour, right, we have like a clear squeezing of the band, meaning that Bitcoin is ready to break one direction or the other in a short amount of time. You can see the bands are also squeezing on the hourly, meaning that we're probably going to break in one direction or another. Now, the bands do not give you direction. They only give you the fact that there's going to be a move, an epic move that's coming up soon. Looking at all these right now, I wouldn't trust the on a higher time frame that we're going to dump anytime soon. This could be a fake out, and it could go the opposite direction, because even though the bands say that we're going to make a big move, it could fake you out one direction and go the opposite. So it could go higher, fake us out down, and then go higher, right? So I'd wait for market structure before we decide to jump it on a trade. Okay, let's head over to Ethereum. Oof, wow. Oof. Yeah, Ethereum, right, has left the building in a big way, huge way, massive, colossal, ginormous. It is now at 35, almost 35,000. I think it did hit 35 on the spot market. No, not quite. But wow, not 35,000, 3,500. Sorry, 3,500 on almost 3,500 on spot. But now it's at 3,490 some odd, 90 some odd. So almost there. Maybe I'll look at it. Maybe I won't. There's not much to bet on here. There's like on the hourly, there's a little bit of a cheeky W. It probably is going to take us up there, but Ethereum is a little bit gun shy. Sometimes likes to on the market structure. Sometimes likes to wipe you out, especially if you take the 2% rule. If you take the 50% 2-to-1 rule that I do, it likes to wipe you out and then continue up higher. So be careful of that. But this looks like a solid W right here. If you're missing that, let me just draw it out for you. You can see it's right here, right there, right, and the breakout point. So I don't like it to test the breakout point more than once. Looks like we might test it again. If you want, you could try to trade it and set the breakout point as your stop loss, where where the normal entry would have been. You take it as your stop loss and take that trade. That's okay. There's not much risk there. You can see, right, if you were to enter here, right, oops. And then I'm going to hold the control key, and then there we go. And so the risk is like less than 1%, right? And then you can take it to its final destination, which happens to be, so you're risking 1% to earn. Let's see here, where would be the final destination? Let's see here, it would be on a 1-to-1. I gotta move this down here, move this up here. There we go. Then move this to the 1-to-1. That's the final destination, right? And then I'm gonna, I need to what's the price of the final destination? Approximately $3,615. All right, so we're gonna move this up here to your entry. The stop loss is where, hey, you know what? If we try to touch down again here, I'm going to walk away. I'm going to move this down to the 615-ish area, maybe a little bit lower. And there you go. You got a 4.5-to-1 risk to reward ratio trade. But because the higher the risk, the higher the reward, but the chances are that this thing might not work out for you. So accept that and make sure you accept the losses. So make sure that you go, okay, all right, Mr. D, thanks for the trade, but I'm only going to risk like maybe 1% of my portfolio at Bybit, maybe 0.5% of my portfolio, nothing crazy. Okay, Right. So that's my suggested trade for Ethereum, right? And yeah, let's see where else we can go. Ethereum, how high can it really go? Can it go even higher? Looking at the overall picture. Well, right now Ethereum has broken all of my targets recently, so we're gonna have to look for some new targets. And I can't. Let's see here. Let's see if there's anything we can sink our teeth into. Yeah, this target was reached and continued on further. So let's see if there's anything else. Settings, where is it? Settings. Let's go to 2 to 1, 2.61, and 3. Wow. So we're at 2.61. So look at that. It failed. Look at that 2.61. Oh my goodness. Failed right at that 2.61, and we could go up to further higher. Let's just go up to 3.61. So there you go, 3.61, right near the $4,000 level. Don't be surprised if we decide to give it a look-see. Let's give it a look-see. Alrighty. Okay. Is there any other targeting mechanism that we can look at? Don't see anything offhand. There is no AB equals CD. There is no. Yeah, it's all done. So I'm not going to. I don't see anything else to give us a clear target for Ethereum going higher. But clearly Ethereum is going higher because, well, if we take a look at the monster D that Bitcoin is getting, right? We could see that it's getting dominated hard by the altcoins, and we've broken through here. Let me just go down to the weekly and see where. Oh, we've broken through this 1.618 so far. So far, we're just like ignoring it. 1.6 what? So I don't know. If we continue to break through the 1.618, right? I'm telling you, we're seeing this come all the way down to the 40 level before we see any kind of resistance. As we've been talking about, ever since we broke this, I said that we could break down like so fast to the 40 level. It's gonna turn, make your head spin, right? And we did. We have so far. We haven't gotten there, but we're close, real close. And look at this. Look at this chart over here. I mean, were you here for this? Did you buy this? This beautiful entry, beautiful. I did right after the show. I hope you did too. It was excellent buy. Balancers got a lot of room to run. Let's take a look at that. Let's just assume. Let's do a fib, right? From the backside of the bottom to the top, and I bet you we're gonna see. Now, even if we just come up to 61.8, I mean that's a huge move right there, right? That's all. Let's just say that's all it does, which it's not, because this is alt season. And in alt season, things get a little bit of wacky, especially even priced in Bitcoin. Even priced in Bitcoin, things get wacky. You're like, Mr. D, how wacky does it get? Let me show you. You're not gonna believe it, but we generally go up to the 4. You're like, what? And that's priced in Bitcoin. I know you're scratching your head. I know you're like, that's not possible. If Bitcoin's going to 1.2, like you said, that's just some craziness there. Well, this thing might not go. This might go up to the 4.0 before Bitcoin gets to 1.2, right? Or it might do it after Bitcoin goes to 1.2, and then come Bitcoin kind of crashing down, so that it comes up. But I don't think Bitcoin's going to crash down, unfortunately, and we're going to see high numbers on all these alts, priced in dollars as well, and you're not gonna believe the numbers you see, because they won't be relevant really, because once again I'm going to talk about the pizza and the what's it called, your investment. If you buy a pizza in 2010, right? And I'm explaining why this number might the dollar number might be irrelevant in the future, right? If you buy a pizza in 2010 and it's $5 and you have $100 to invest in the S&P and or any stocks or whatever, and you do so, and then 10 years later you have $300, you 3x your money. You're like, wow, that's great, awesome, man! I triple my investment, awesome. Phew, I'm the smartest guy in the world. But then a pizza costs $30 in 2020, right? How much money did you make? Oh, that's right. You lost. You thought you made money, but you didn't. You actually lost 50% of your value, right? And so that's what's going to happen. It's going to be difficult to see. It's going to be hard to process for most people. I will try to point it out best I can. If you're subscribed to my video, so make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you're watching every single day, right? Because I will be pointing out how you're getting burned, even though you think you're getting richer, right? On any particular asset class. So watch that out. So watch out for that and make sure you are part of it. Okay. Next up for today, we're going to be talking about crypto bubbles. Man, look at this nonsense, man. Wow. Waves are pirate chain. Like, who knew? Like, I sold all my ETC, right? Thinking, yeah, this is done. And when it popped, right, of course. And it was at 200%. And I'm like, yeah, who's going to use this chain? But there it is. It's alive and kicking. Amazing. Kind of shocked. And I don't know what this is. I have to do some research on this because I can't believe it's still here. Right? It's like, is this another meme coin? Just a better meme coin than Doge? What the heck's going on here? Who knows? Let's find out in the next little while. I'm going to talk about it in another show. Oh boy. So, Digital Currencies Group announces plans to increase purchase of shares of Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. These guys are interested in buying Bitcoin, and they're another corporation that just, falling into the Bitcoin, what's it called? What would we call it? The Bitcoin Odyssey or heaven, basically, where you save your wealth in Bitcoin. So it is interesting how this is happening, right? All corporations are slowly getting into Bitcoin, saving in Bitcoin one way or another. It sounds like, we've seen it from yesterday's show, from other shows, and you see it in news articles, and it sounds like popcorn, basically, popping off, pop. One other company bought some Bitcoin, pop. Another company's bought Bitcoin, pop. And eventually, there will be a point in time, right, sometime in the future, probably 6 months from now, or less than that, maybe in September or something like that, we're going to see all these companies start to buy all at the same time. It'll be like non-stop popcorn. Unbelievable. Wow, I can't wait for that, man. It's going to be so much fun as we watch the price appreciation go absolutely ballistic. Unfortunately, right, as we continue to get the price going ballistic, there is forces, underground forces, evil forces, to who are interested in keeping the price lower. And that is the CME and the government, and it's all of its and the banking system and all their cronies, basically, by launching this micro futures on Bitcoin, where you get to bet on the price of Bitcoin, right? You don't get to participate in helping the price increase. You get to bet to watch all these people who buy the physical asset if it gets to go up, right? Through some futures contract which are not cash settled. Which are cash settled, you don't actually have access to actual Bitcoin. It's a ridiculous notion, and it's even ridiculous for actual commodities at this point in time, because it's all completely manipulated, right? It is a valuable resource to have a commodities exchange, right? However, it's currently setting the price, and the fact of the matter is people are writing contracts to non-existent commodities that can never come into the market. And because that's allowed, right, it becomes a fraud, right? You can't set price based on the fact that the asset that you're setting the price on comes from the fact that somebody says, I'll promise you silver, this coin right here, but I have no way of delivering it to you because I know there's not enough. But hey, guess what? The fact that I sold you 1 billion ounces that I could never pay, right, sets the price. What a scam. What a scam, right? And so that is what's going on with the commodities exchanges. That's why they're all fraudulent in our current environment. But moving right along. Crypto exchange FTX hires former HBC exec as it prepares to serve traditional financial institutions. You know what I hear? I hear like the Titanic of banking, from the banking system, and the rats leaving the ships. In fact, I think the better analogy is like the captain's like, I know I'm supposed to go down with the ship, but see ya. Yeah, exactly. That's what I think that this looks like to me. More than just the rats leaving the ship, the captain is like, yeah, good luck, guys. Oh man. Oh, and this thing, right? S&P launches cryptocurrency indexes, debuting with Bitcoin and Ethereum. So what got me concerned, right, is this a derivatives? Where are they getting the Bitcoin? How are they custodying the Bitcoin? And this launches the indices tied. Their wording surely explains it all. Tied to the performance of the two largest cryptocurrencies. Tied. That means it's connected. Doesn't mean it actually buys those assets. It just means you are exposed to the price of those assets. So it's effectively a derivative. And you don't actually own Bitcoins, and nobody else owns Bitcoins on your behalf. More ways to manipulate the price of both our core assets, Bitcoin and Ethereum. And that's the beginning, right, of a major thing, right? Major thing with basically extreme events that are happening with Bitcoin and Ethereum, because they're getting suppressed majorly. It's a sad thing, but that's just the way it is, right? And well, that's why you need to own your own Bitcoin, right? Hold it, right? Hodler of last resort, because Bitcoin's real, Bitcoin's here to stay, and you need to be a part of it. Cheers.